Let's get right into it. Number 10, standing on a glass floor. You step onto a glass floor high above the ground, and suddenly your soul attempts to exit through your knees. Your brain is screaming, your palms are sweating, and every survival instinct you own is filing a missing person report. But here's the annoying truth. You are extremely safe. Those glass floors in skyscrapers, observation decks, and tourist traps aren't made of oops glass. They're built from multiple layers of laminated tempered glass designed to hold several times the maximum expected weight. Some are tested by dropping cars on them, from height, and then they're like, yeah, add another layer just in case. Your fear isn't about physics, it's about perception. Your brain evolved to trust solid-looking things. Rock? Good. Wood? Acceptable. Clear and visible, nothing pretending to be a floor? Absolutely not. The problem is that your eyes are reporting, there is no ground, while your feet are reporting, this is fine, and your brain cannot reconcile that disagreement without panic. So it defaults to, we are about to die. Heights already mess with your balance system. Add transparency, and now your visual depth cues are doing parkour. Your inner ear says you're standing still. Your eyes say you're floating above a tiny ant city. Your brain assumes the worst and releases fear chemicals like it's Black Friday. And let's be honest, if glass floors were actually dangerous, there would be way more viral videos of them failing. Instead, what we mostly see are videos of grown adults frozen in place, clinging to railings, negotiating with the universe. The danger you feel is emotional, not structural. The glass is bored. It's not thinking about breaking. It's thinking about holding up 100 tourists who underestimated engineering. So yes, it feels like standing on betrayal. But statistically speaking, the most dangerous part of a glass floor is your dignity when you refuse to step forward. Number 9, turbulence on an airplane. The plane shakes, the wing flexes, someone gasps. Somewhere behind you, a person grips their armrest like it owes them money. Your brain immediately assumes the aircraft has offended gravity and will be punished accordingly. But turbulence? Incredibly normal, almost boring, emotionally dramatic, physically harmless. Turbulence is just uneven air. Think of it like potholes in the sky, not holes you fall into, just bumpy air currents caused by temperature differences, weather systems, or jet streams. The plane isn't losing control, it's driving over cosmic speed bumps. Commercial airplanes are designed to handle far more stress than turbulence can deliver. Wings are built to flex on purpose. That bend, you see? That's not failure, that's design. Engineers test wings by bending them to absurd angles until something breaks. And what breaks is usually the testing equipment, not the wing. Your fear comes from a lack of visual reference. In a car, you see the road. On a boat, you see waves. On a plane, the shaking feels unearned. No warning, no visible cause, just movement and vibes. Your brain hates unexplained motion. It assumes loss of control, but pilots deal with turbulence constantly. They don't panic, they barely react. To them, it's background noise, like traffic, or a mildly annoying coworker. Statistically, turbulence has never caused a modern commercial plane to crash. Injuries only happen when people aren't buckled in and gravity reminds them who's boss. So when the plane shakes and your heart rate spikes, remember, the aircraft is fine. The pilots are bored. And the only thing actually at risk is your inner peace. Number 8, swimming in the deep end of a pool. You're in a perfectly controlled rectangle of water. There are lane lines, there's a lifeguard. There are rules posted in 3 different fonts, and yet the moment your feet can't touch the bottom, your brain activates ancient drowning mode. Suddenly, the water feels heavier, your arms feel weaker, the distance to the edge feels suspiciously far even though it's literally a few kicks away. You're not in danger. You're just vertically offended. Here's the thing. Deep water isn't more dangerous than shallow water if you can swim. The pool didn't suddenly change its personality. The physics are identical. The only difference is psychological. You lost your illusion of control. Humans love contact with the ground. We are emotionally dependent on being able to stand up at any moment. The second that option disappears, your brain assumes catastrophe is imminent, even though buoyancy is still doing its job, even though your body floats naturally, even though nothing has changed except your confidence. This fear is leftover software from your ancestors, who correctly believed that deep, dark water could absolutely end them. Unfortunately, your brain doesn't distinguish between murky, prehistoric lake and chlorinated community pool with a snack bar. So the panic kicks in. Breathing gets weird. Movements get sloppy. And suddenly you feel less safe. even though the situation is objectively unchanged. Ironically, the fear itself is the only real risk. Panic wastes energy. Calm keeps you afloat. The water isn't trying to pull you down. Your thoughts are. So yes, the deep end feels dangerous. But it's just water doing water things. The real struggle is convincing your brain that it's not 12,000 years ago anymore. Number 7, walking past a police dog. You're minding your business, hands visible, posture polite, and then you see it. A massive, muscular police dog with laser focus and the emotional expression of a tax auditor. Your heart rate doubles. Your brain starts narrating worst-case scenarios. Don't move. Don't look suspicious. Why do I suddenly not know how to walk? Here's the irony. That dog is one of the most controlled, trained, and predictable animals you will ever be near. Police dogs aren't aggressive by default. They're disciplined, heavily trained, socialized, and constantly under command. Randomly attacking civilians would be a career-ending event for everyone involved. But your brain doesn't care about training credentials. It sees teeth, size, authority, and uniform energy and immediately assumes danger. Dogs already trigger primal fear. Add law enforcement context, and now your nervous system is writing fan fiction about getting tackled. The dog isn't scanning you for vibes. It's focused on its handler, its job, its commands. You are background scenery unless specifically told otherwise. What you're feeling isn't threat, it's intimidation. Your brain associates power with risk. Big dog plus badge equals do not mess this up. And since you're not sure what this is, your anxiety fills in the blanks. In reality, the safest thing you can do is exactly what you're already doing. Act normal. The dog wants structure, calm, predictability. Panic reads louder than confidence. So while it feels like you're one wrong breath away from disaster, the truth is that the dog is far more likely to ignore you completely than do anything dramatic. The danger isn't the dog. It's your brain assuming every serious-looking situation is about to turn into a movie scene. Number 6, being underwater while wearing goggles. You put your face underwater. Everything goes quiet, vision narrows, sounds vanish, and suddenly your brain whispers, "What if we never come back up?" Nothing about this situation is dangerous. You are holding your breath, voluntarily, with full control, and yet your body reacts like you've been kidnapped by the ocean. Wearing goggles actually makes this worse. They sharpen your vision underwater, which removes the comforting blur that normally reminds your brain this is temporary. Instead, everything looks clear, vast, and suspiciously permanent. Your brain doesn't like permanence when oxygen is involved. Your breath-holding reflex kicks in fast. Chest tightens. Diaphragm starts sending angry emails, not because you're running out of air, but because your body is programmed to panic early. It would rather embarrass you than let you accidentally drown. This reflex evolved to save your life, not to be polite. It doesn't care that you're in a pool, or that you've done this 1,000 times. It only knows that your face is underwater and it does not approve. The wild part, you could safely hold your breath much longer than your brain allows. The discomfort isn't danger. It's an alarm system set to extra dramatic. So when it feels like time is running out underwater, remember, your body is lying to you for your own good. It's not danger. It's overprotective software screaming into the void. Number 5. Riding an elevator that shakes or drops slightly. The doors close, the elevator starts moving, then, clunk, a pause, a tiny drop. Your stomach relocates. Your soul exits briefly and returns with trust issues. But here's the truth no one wants to hear. Modern elevators are absurdly safe. Elevators don't fall. Even in extreme malfunctions, multiple independent braking systems activate automatically. Steel cables are over-engineered to hold several times the elevator's maximum load. If one cable snaps, which is rare, there are backups, and backups for the backups. That little drop you feel? That's usually the elevator aligning with a floor, adjusting speed, or starting movement. It feels dramatic because your inner ear hates sudden vertical motion. Your brain interprets it as free fall, even when it absolutely is not. You're reacting to sensation, not risk. Elevators are inspected constantly, maintained aggressively, and statistically safer than stairs. Yes, stairs, the things you trust daily while carrying coffee and confidence. But elevators trigger claustrophobia, loss of control, and gravity anxiety all at once. You're enclosed, you're suspended, you're relying on invisible machinery. Your brain would much prefer something you can see and blame. So when the elevator shakes and your heart races, remember, it's doing exactly what it was designed to do. The only thing malfunctioning is your imagination. Number 4. Walking near the edge of a tall building. You're on a rooftop. There's a railing. It's sturdy. It's high enough. You know this logically, and yet your brain is screaming, "Do not approach the void." Your feet slow down. Your balance feels weird. Your body subtly leans away like the edge might suddenly reach out and grab you. Here's the twist. That fear isn't about falling. It's about not trusting yourself. Psychologists call it the high place phenomenon. It's that sudden intrusive thought that says, "What if I jumped?" Not because you want to, but because your brain is running safety simulations at full volume. Your mind is basically yelling, "Hey, this is dangerous, pay attention." Unfortunately, it uses the most unhelpful language possible. You are far more stable than your fear suggests. Balance systems, vision, muscle control, they're all working together just fine. The edge isn't pulling you. Gravity isn't stronger near buildings. Physics hasn't changed. But your brain hates large vertical drops. It can't measure them emotionally, only visually. And when it sees a long way down, it floods your system with caution chemicals like it's trying to save a medieval peasant. Ironically, that fear keeps you safe. It makes you step back. It makes you aware. It's a warning system doing its job aggressively. So when it feels dangerous, it's not because you're actually close to falling. It's because your brain is reminding you that consequences exist. Number 3, sleeping alone in a silent house. It's quiet, too quiet. No background noise, no distractions, just you, your thoughts, and every sound your house has ever made. A creak happens. You freeze. Your brain immediately invents a narrative involving intruders, ghosts, or both working together. But nothing is happening. The house is just being a house. Silence removes your brain's usual sensory anchors. Without noise, your mind fills the gap with imagination. Every sound becomes suspicious. Every shadow becomes a threat. This fear comes from evolutionary wiring. Nighttime meant predators, darkness meant vulnerability, and being alone meant you were on watch duty whether you liked it or not. Your modern home, however, is not a savanna. It is insulated, locked, boring, but your brain doesn't update that file. So it scans, constantly, and in the absence of real danger, it creates hypothetical ones just to stay busy. The irony? Most people sleep worse in total silence. Your brain prefers predictable noise because it signals safety. Random creaks feel dangerous. Steady hums feel controlled. So if lying in a quiet house feels unsafe, it's not intuition. It's leftover night watch software with too much free time. Number 2, standing still in the ocean while waves pass you. You're waist deep in the ocean. The water is clear. The beach is right there. And yet every time a wave rolls in, your body stiffens like you're about to be dragged into a nautical horror story. Your feet sink a little. The water pulls back, your balance wobbles, and your brain goes, "Ah yes, this is how people disappear." But here's the boring truth. Small to moderate waves near shore are not trying to steal you. They're just water moving water. What freaks you out is the pull. When waves retreat, they drag sand out from under your feet, creating that sinking feeling. Your brain interprets this as loss of stability, which it absolutely hates. Stability equals safety, wobble equals doom. Add to that the fact that you can't see what's touching your legs anymore. Seaweed brushes past your ankle and suddenly your imagination introduces sharks, jellyfish, and a personal vendetta from the ocean itself. In reality, standing calmly is often safer than fighting the water. Panic makes your movements inefficient. Calm lets your body adjust naturally. The waves aren't increasing in power, your anxiety is. Your ancestors feared moving water for good reason. Rivers drowned people. Oceans didn't forgive mistakes. That fear still lives in you, even when you're basically in a giant salty kiddie pool. So when waves feel threatening, remember, the water isn't testing you, it's just doing physics. You're the one adding drama. Number 1, lying perfectly still and feeling your heartbeat. You're in bed, lights off, no distractions, and suddenly you become aware of your heartbeat. Thump, thump, thump. Immediately, your brain decides something is wrong. Too fast, too slow, too noticeable. Is this normal? Have I always had a heart? Congratulations. You've unlocked one of the safest sensations that feels the most dangerous. Feeling your heartbeat isn't a warning sign. It's just awareness. Your heart has been doing this non-stop since before you had opinions. You only notice it now because everything else is quiet. The danger feeling comes from hyperfocus. When your brain zooms in on internal sensations, it loses context. Any change feels significant. Any rhythm feels suspicious. And once anxiety enters, your heart rate changes, which convinces your brain it was right all along. It's a feedback loop. Awareness creates anxiety. Anxiety changes sensations. Changed sensations increase awareness. Repeat until you're Googling at 2 a.m. In reality, your heart is incredibly resilient. It adjusts constantly to breathing, posture, emotion, and movement. Feeling it doesn't mean it's failing. It means your attention landed on it accidentally. Ironically, the safest thing you can do is stop checking. The less you monitor it, the more normal it feels. Because normal was never the problem, attention was. So the most dangerous feeling thing on this list? Doing absolutely nothing while your body quietly keeps you alive. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them. Sketchy Logic Explains is an educational entertainment animation channel that explores the truth behind everyday mysteries. I put genuine effort into drawing every single day. It's not easy at all. Please help me with one subscription. It truly means a lot to me. I love you all.